Hello, and good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. So welcome to our webinar about building AI agents. I'm happy to welcome all of you. My name is Andres Gavriluk. And let's first of all, while people are still joining, do some broadcast setup. So we are here in the Zoom, and here we have this chat window, what you can use throughout the webinar to talk with me, ask questions, put some comments, have a discussion between yourself and so on. So let's first of all check, can you hear me well? Can you see me well? Is the connection working nicely? So just let me know through the chat. Great, thank you. Very good. So our webinar is planned to last for around 60 up to 90 minutes, depending on how many questions are you going to have. I will be trying to make this webinar as practical as possible. In case you feel that something is useful, insightful, I would really recommend you to take some notes. And for sure, if something is unclear or you would like to know more, then just use the chat. Write the question down. This is the place to learn. This is the place to discover. And this is the place to find something that you will be able to immediately apply in your company, in your everyday job, and so on. So let's start, guys. First of all, short introduction. My name is Andres Gavriluk. I am a digitalization and AI implementation expert with over 12 years of experience already working in IT industry with many various institutions, primarily focusing on helping companies to automate their processes, to navigate through the digitalization journey, and today to find the ways how AI can boost their operations, reduce costs, and so on. I'm a tech entrepreneur by myself. I run a software development company, Bonsai Tech. I also co-founded an online learning academy, Cerebrum Hub, where we are offering various reskilling programs to help adults enter the IT field. So before we start talking about AI and AI agents, let me just quickly share my AI journey so you know why I'm talking about this topic and what is my expertise. So I personally started my journey with AI over 3 years ago. It started in Cerebrum Hub when we just were launching the company. We faced a need to produce hundreds and hundreds of video materials for our online training courses. And that's when we started to research what are the capabilities out there, as producing high quality video is quite an expensive thing. So then we discovered that there were already available such tools that were able to create videos using avatars. I believe all of you have already seen them today. They became quite popular, but 3 years ago, this was quite a new thing. So we were probably one of the first companies who cooperated with the HeyGen and produced a lot of video materials fully using AI. This was very welcomed by our students. So we had over multiple hundreds of people learned with AI-powered videos. But what was most amazing is that it helped us to reduce the video production costs almost 3 times. At the same time, while keeping the high quality of the videos and receiving great outcomes in our business. So that was my first experience where I really realized that there is enormous potential of using those new tools to boost the business, to make things cheaper, faster, and so on. So the obvious next thing was to develop some AI mentoring tools. We were using ChatGPT, OpenAI-based API to build AI mentors for our students to just answer common students and provide some hands-on mentoring. And then new projects came connected to the usage of the AI in hiring, helping to select candidates, project to help teachers prepare the lessons, assess the homeworks. And eventually today, I'm spending a lot of my time helping institutions to understand how to build AI agents, things to automate the customer support, to simplify some operational processes, and so on. And this is what I'm going to talk today. So the main topic of our webinar today is around AI agents and AI automation. And my goal for the next 1 hour is to provide you a clear and practical overview of, first of all, what is an AI agent and what is an AI automation. And secondly, how you can practically use those AI agents and AI automation in your companies, in your everyday job, so that it will help you or your company to increase efficiency or reduce costs, depending on your needs. Now, before we do that, let's get to know each other a little bit, so that I can maybe better adjust all the things what I will be delivering today, and I will know what is your background, current knowledge about the topic, and so on. So guys, I would like to ask you to just quickly drop to the chat. What is your name, where you're from, what do you do for a living, and most importantly, what do you know about artificial intelligence, particularly AI agents? Do you have any previous experience? Do you have any previous practical knowledge of how to implement them, how to use them, whatever? Just quickly write one sentence to the chat, and I believe it will make our today's webinar much more effective. So I'll give you a couple of minutes to just write that to the chat. Cool. Nice to meet you, Roig. Cool. The second person from the Spain is very interesting. I was hoping to see a majority of the people coming from Estonia today, but it's nice to see that we have AI enthusiasts all over the world. Great. Okay, cool. It's really nice to see that people start already to use various tools in their everyday job. This is, I believe personally, this is extremely, extremely useful and extremely practical. Cool, very nice. So guys, it's great pleasure to have all of you here today. I see that some of you are still writing, so just continue, but let's now move forward. And first of all, because before we move into the practical field of our workshop, let's just agree about some definitions. So let's understand what is an AI agent, what is an AI chatbot, and how they are different. First of all, I believe all of you are familiar with AI chatbots. So tools like ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, and so on. Those tools, what probably all of you are already using on a daily basis, are AI chatbots. So this is a software that is particularly specifically trained to understand human messages and to answer those messages in a kind of natural way. So as another competent human being would answer. So those are AI chatbots. And now when we talk about AI agents, how AI agents are different from the AI chatbots is that AI agents are more advanced. So basically, when we talk about AI agents, we mean having kind of a smart digital employee that is able to perform some tasks outside of the chat. Maybe do some analysis of the information, make some decisions, ask us some additional questions, all that on its own with a goal to solve some particular real world problem. So basically the difference between AI agent and AI chatbot is that AI agent is able to do something. It has access to the tools, it has access to the systems, and it is able to really simplify, automate, or perform tasks within a given framework. So what is an AI agent? Just a couple of examples for you. So for example, we can have an AI agent built to simplify our customer support. It can be connected to our email, read all the emails, understand what those emails are about, and then maybe generate some automated answers based on the knowledge in the database, maybe put some tickets to external systems when some topics should be handled by specific teams, and so on. Another example of an AI agent could be that this is an AI chatbot, which looks for the user as a regular chat, but at the same time, this chatbot has a bunch of integrations and accesses, for example, to our document and file storages, to our internal systems like Jira and Confluence, CRM, GitHub, and other systems. It can have access to our calendars, and because of that, it can be well aware about what is happening in the company, what are our processes, what are maybe is a specific data stored somewhere in the system, and this AI agent, because of those connected tools, can answer much more advanced questions. So for example, I can ask what were the code pieces that we produced during the period of the last 30 days. And it goes to the GitHub and analyzes the data available there and returns me with the feedback. Or I can ask me to give some information about new customers registered in our CRM, and so on. So various opportunities and various capabilities are possible here. Next possible thing or next possible way to build an AI agent is to put AI agents to do a specific work. So for example, let's imagine that we want to have our LinkedIn copywriting agency. When producing some content or producing some posts, we may need different competences. So someone needs to do a research to collect and gather some interesting information. Someone needs to write a post itself so it looks nice. Someone needs to generate a nice illustration or picture. Someone needs to edit, and so on. So you can imagine having an AI agent which has all those roles. So maybe even multiple AI agents working together, specializing on particular tasks and having their own tools available, for example, to connect to the internet to do the research, or connect to the database of all the posts to understand your copywriting style and produce the post in a similar way, to generate pictures using some external tools, and so on. So those are some examples of what I mean when I tell we are going to discuss AI agents, and those AI agents can be used in businesses to simplify processes, to automate particular domains, and so on. Now, obviously, the first question which comes to the mind is, how can I build an AI agent? And in general, how do we produce them? And the short answer is that within the period of last 2 years, the enormous amount of various tools emerged. Tools like Made.com, N8N, tools from Google, tools from Microsoft, and various other companies were built for different reasons, but in general to enable possibility of building various AI automation processes, various AI agents, and so on. Different tools have different pros and cons, different benefits. And within a period of last 2 years, I have done a lot of work just analyzing all of them, experimenting. We're having multiple projects where we were building those AI agents for companies and just trying to understand which tools are working best for the particular scenarios. So today, I have chosen for you a particular tool which I believe is extremely useful for the majority of the use cases, and most importantly, which can be quite easily used by non-technical people. It means you do not need to know nothing about coding. You do not need to understand deeply how large language models are working, and so on. So today, we are going to discuss AI agents that will be built based on the N8N platform. So the N8N platform is a platform built in Germany, so our EU stuff. And this is the platform which is deliberately, specifically built to be simple enough and user-friendly enough so that non-technical people can build their own AI agents and AI automations. It offers a lot of variety of various no-code possibilities. Means, for example, you can build integrations without writing any code. You can make some data transformations, again, without writing any code, and so on. And what is important for me is that this tool is also open source, means it is possible for the companies just to take this tool, install that on their servers and start using it. So this tool is already quite popular, used by multiple large companies such as Adobe, Cisco, and so on. So over 3,000 of companies are using that in production at the moment. And I believe personally, this is quite a great reference. This is quite a great proof that this can be used in production. Large companies are using that. It adds this additional layer of confidence and layer of security that we can think about using that in our companies. So guys, that was a short theoretical introduction so you understand better what we're talking about, what exactly we're going to build, and what tools we are going to be using to build our AI agent. Let's now move to the practical part of this webinar, and let's build our AI agent right now. So guys, are you ready? Just a live check, write yes, no to the chat. Great. Nice. Very good. So I was thinking for quite a long what kind of agent to choose to build during this webinar, and I tried to pick something which should be understandable more or less for everybody. And this is going to be an e-commerce customer support agent. So I believe all of you have had experience of ordering something from somewhere in the internet, from some web shop, and all of you were feeling that you need sometimes to contact the company, maybe to ask about the delivery, or you were not satisfied, you wanted a refund, and so on. And as you may imagine, the typical e-commerce is receiving tons of emails from their customers with various questions, various requests. And what I want to show you today is how it is possible to automate this kind of support using the AI agents based on the N8N platform. So right now, I will first of all show you the ready-made agent that I built yesterday. I will just illustrate how this is working, and then we are going to build this agent step by step so you understand how exactly all that is put together, how it is organized, what are the capabilities, and so on. If something will be unclear, feel free to drop the questions to the chat. I will be checking it time to time to ensure that we are on the same page. So we have an agent here. What this agent is doing is that this agent is connected to the specific Gmail inbox. And this agent is checking all the incoming emails. And the first thing what this agent is doing is classifying the email. So trying to understand what is the topic of the email, so that based on different topic, we may want a different type of behavior. Right now, this agent is discovering that there may be questions connected to the frequently asked questions, like the information, what we know about and what we can quickly answer. There can be questions connected to the product availability. And in case we receive this kind of questions, we want to automatically generate an answer based on our FAQ and based on our product database. Then we may also have a refund requests, and sometimes we have a separate person dealing with the refunds. So we want to send the information about the refund request to the appropriate department. It can be done using some system like Freshdesk, Zendesk. In my case, I'm using Telegram. So I have a separate Telegram channel to notify people about the refund requests. And then we may have some more urgent requests from the customers that need to be escalated to the manager. So maybe customer is unhappy. Maybe there are some claims. So I want the AI agent to be able to identify such emails and then notify the manager that it requires his or her attention. And let me now show you how this is working before we start building it. So here I have my mailbox, and I will be just sending messages here to the same mailbox. And for example, I have a question about the shipping policy and the product availability. So question, hi, what is your shipping policy and which products are available? Sent. So we have a new message. This agent, in reality, would work automatically, means it will be checking our mailbox on a regular basis, taking all the new emails, and then doing all the stuff. Right now, I will be executing it manually so we can really see what is happening. So I'll be pressing here a test workflow button. And as you can see, this agent started to work. It went to the Gmail, it identified that there is one item, then it executed email classification and understood that this is a frequently asked question. So now this agent is executed, which, as you can see, used the integration with the FAQ database, where I have all the answers for more common questions. It has integration with our product database, and then it is writing us a message and adding this message back to the Gmail. So what do we have here? Let's check. Right now, as you see, the draft message has appeared in my email, and that's what we have here. So dear Andres, thanks for the interest in Duckyverse. That's the name of my virtual e-commerce shop. We are selling rubber ducks. Here is information about our shipping policy from the pack. Here is the information about the available products from our product database, some additional questions, best regards. So as you can see, a very nice email. Basically, this email is already ready to be sent out, and even this action can be automated. I just added currently a step ahead so we can check and see what are the intermediate results. So this is an agent, and this is what it is doing. It is checking the email, choosing the appropriate path, and based on that, rather answering or notifying the accounting team through the Telegram or escalating it to the manager and so on. And let me now show you how it is possible to build this agent completely from the scratch and basically without writing any code. And I believe through doing that, you will understand better the details and exact implementation details, how this platform and how those agents are working. So here on the N8N platform, once I want to create a new agent, I just press the plus button and choose the new workflow, and I create it. Now I have prepared a guide, which, by the way, I can share with all of you in case you want to check it later. So basically, this guide contains all the steps that needs to be done in 8NN to prepare this agent by yourself. I have also included a possibility to download a ready-made template. So you can just download the configuration what I have just built, and then you can import it as a file and everything will be ready for you, so you can just connect your own accounts and start using it. And by the way, you can also start using N8N platform for free. So here is the link, which is my partnership link, which gives you a possibility to try N8N for free for a period of 1 month, if I'm not mistaken. So you can use it to register, take my template, import it, and basically you will have all the ready-made automation there. But okay, let's now go through all those steps, and I will be also explaining why particular step is working exactly in such way, what are the implementation details, and so on. So the very first thing, what we need to do to build our AI agent is to choose a trigger. So how exactly it will be executed? In our case, we're going to use a new email as a trigger. So as you can see, I choose a Gmail from here, and I choose on message received. Now here I can do some configurations, but basically when you will be using N8N for the first time, you would need to connect your email. My email is already connected, so I do not need to do that again. And then here I can choose how often the agent will be checking my email, like every minute, every hour, every day, and so on. So I will pick every minute at the moment. And then I want to get all the information about my emails from the mailbox, so I will remove this simplify button. And by the way, I can immediately test. So once I added a step, I can press this fetch test event button. And in case there are some new emails, so give me a second, I will send a new email, so we will have it. Demo. So here we go. Here is the new email. We have it in our mailbox, and we now will have it here as well. Great. So the next thing, what we want to do is to classify our emails. So once we receive an email, this is just a text, and we want an AI to understand what this email is about so that we can execute different flows. For that, I can use a step 2, a text classifier node. So the text classifier node is connected to the large language learning model, and it is classifying our text based on the given instructions. So here I can add different categories and description of those categories, and our model will be using those descriptions to understand what this message is about. And let me show you an example. So I have prepared that in my online store, I have those kind of questions like FAQ inquiry, and then product availability inquiry, and so on. And for every type of the email, I just have a short textual description so that the model can refer and understand what the email is about. So for example, the FAQ, the category includes customer questions about the store general policies, shipping times, order status, payment methods, and so on. Product availability inquiry, customer reaching out to check whether a product is stock, and so on. So how do you now enter that into the N8N is that you open your model, and here you start adding your categories. So you add the first category and then a description of the first category to here. And then you can add second category, the third category, and so on. So this is how you help the model and allow the model to understand what the email is about, what are your categories, and as you may understand, those categories can be built according to your company needs and to your specific requirements. So now we have this text classifier here. The only thing what we need to do to make it work is to connect it to a specific model, so LLM or large language learning model. The N8N gives you an access to the variety of models from a different providers. So it can be, for example, an OpenAI or Claude or Gemini or models provided from the Microsoft. Whatever you prefer, some of the models are open source as well, so you can just take it and use it and maybe even run somewhere on your server. At the moment, I'm going to use the OpenAI models for my illustration, so I will choose the OpenAI here, and for the classification, the GPT-4o-mini works quite nicely. So here is the model, and here is my text classifier node. Now, the next thing what I need to build is to build what is going to happen next after we have identified that, for example, this is a frequently asked question. So I'm going to add an AI agent node here, and this is basically the node which will be answering the messages based on our prompt. So it is kind of a smart employee whom we train to be capable of answering emails sent by our customers. How it will be doing that is, first of all, by having a prompt. So here I'm going to add a textual instruction of how it should be working. And let me show you an example of the prompt that I have prepared here in the step number 3. So I have built a prompt which looks something like that. You're an AI customer support agent for Duckyverse, which is our store. Your task is to draft clear, friendly, and informative emails. Now, I also indicate that it will have an access to our frequently asked questions data to find the most relevant answers. I wanted to respond in the user language. So in case the email is written not in English, for example, but Estonian or Russian, so that we will be able to provide our customer support in an appropriate language. If the inquiry is unclear or broad, we want our AI agent to maybe ask for clarification or some additional details, and so on. And then I want our agent to produce a message with two specific outputs. So a subject of a message and then the message itself. And finally, some additional guidelines like keep the tone friendly, professional, customer focus if the answer requires a link and so on. So those are instructions which our agent is going to use to answer our customers. So I add those instructions here. And now basically our agent is ready, except that first of all, we need again to connect it to some language learning model, for example, an OpenAI, what I will be using here, and I will take GPT-4o. And secondly, we need to enable this AI agent to connect to our frequently asked questions. So we need to give it a tool. And as you can see here, I have an opportunity to choose from a list of different tools that will be available for my agent. So basically, I can connect my agent to the ready-made integrations and give it access to the Google Drive, to the Google Sheets, to the Jira, to various databases, to the Telegram. So the N8N has over 400 ready-made integrations. What you can just pick and basically enable your AI to connect somewhere where you are storing your data. For my particular example, I'm using Google Drive. So basically, I have just built a separate Google Docs document, something like that here. And this Google Docs document just contains a list of all the most common questions our customers are asking about together with the answers. And what I want to do, I want my chatbot to just go and check this document to find the appropriate question and to take an answer from there. How do I do that? I go here under the tools, I enter here Google Docs tool, and basically here I can connect my Google Docs. So again, for the first time, you will need to authenticate the chatbot to access your Google Drive. But once this is done, you can now connect it to the documents that are available in your Google Drive. So I will take a document, get a document, and then I will just take a URL to my document and enter it here. And what I will do more is I will give my AI agent an explanation what this tool is about. So I will write, this is a database. Access it to get information about the most common questions. So as you can see, I'm instructing my agent about when to use this particular tool, and the agent is smart enough to read those descriptions and understand when to take and when to use an appropriate tool. Now, one more thing, what I will do here is to enable this require specific output format checkbox. And this is because I want to send my the output, the message what this agent will prepare back to the Gmail, back to the mailbox. How do I do that? I do that by selecting from here a Gmail node. And as you can see, here are tons of options, what integration with Gmail is offering. And what I want to create a draft message. Now, once I select this node, I will see that this node expects me to provide it a subject and a message. So I need those two specific fields. As you maybe know, when chatting with ChatGPT, the output can be quite random. I want my output in a specific format, and that's why here you have a thing named output parser, which defines how exactly the output of your AI agent is going to look like. And basically, what I'm going to do here, I'm going to add the output parser, and I'm going to define that I want to get out two specific fields: subject, and here goes all the text, what it will generate for the subject, and a message, and all the text, what is going to be the body of the message. So right now, I can be sure that I'm going to get those two fields out there, and I can set up properly the integration basically with the Gmail. So I will add this field to refer to the subject. This is output of the previous model, which is going to be executed, and this is going to be the message. So basically, right now we have the first part of our AI agent ready. This AI agent now will take the Gmail email, it will classify it based on the descriptions what I have provided. Then this small character here will check the Google Docs documents to get some information about frequently asked questions, write the message, structure this message in the proper format, and give it back to the Gmail integration. This Gmail integration will just take the input and create through the API a message in our mailbox. So this is the first part of the setup of the AI agent, and this is how it goes. So let me now go back to the model that I have already configured and just briefly show you some other capabilities, but I will not go any more into details. So if you want to set up the full agent by yourself, I have shared the instruction with you in the chat, so you just continue to do all those steps. So in the step number 5, we will be giving our agent access to the product catalog. So let me show you how I have done that. So your product catalogs can be stored in various systems. You may have a Shopify, or you may have some custom database. It doesn't really matter. As you have seen, the N8N has a huge number of ready-made integrations. For this demo, for our webinar, I have prepared a short Airtable table. So I have a database which looks like that, just a one table, and here are all my products, and here are all the quantities, what I have, and here if the products are out of the stock, so when they are going to be restocked. So how the integration is working is very similarly. I just add one more tool. I pick up the system what I'm using, for example, Airtable, and then I configure it to access the data from a specific database. So I am already connected to the Airtable, and as you can see, I can see a list of all my databases. So yesterday I have prepared this Duckiverse product database, so I choose the Duckiverse product database, and then I choose a table products and search. So right now, this tool will just get all the data from the table and make it available to the chatbot. So the chatbot, again, now can use this data to prepare the answer, make some calculations, and so on. One more possibility is that I'm interacting with some external systems as a result of some particular requests. So for example, I'm adding here a node to send a message in a Telegram. How it will work is that when I'm sending a new email here, let me just quickly show you. And my message is that I want the refund. So I want the refund. Now my model will take this message, will understand that this is a refund request, and execute the Telegram integration node, which is very simple, by the way. Again, it's a ready-made integration where I just add an ID of the chat, what I have built in advance. And here I have a message that I want to be sent to my accounting department. So there is a new refund request sent from, and then customer address from the input email. And here is the customer message and the message what it has sent. What this model is doing, it's sending me that. So as you can see, I have just received a message in a Telegram. This is a new refund request from this user. And here is the message. I want a refund, Andres. So that's just a simple example of how you can make automated integrations with systems like Telegram, with a Gmail, but also with a ticketing systems like Zendesk, Freshdesk, and so on. So guys, I hope that based on this short description, short explanation, you have now a little bit better understanding of what are those essential components of the AI agent, and in general, how you can put AI agent together from different pieces using tools like N8N. So basically, they equip you with those Lego blocks. Every Lego block needs to be configured. Sometimes you need to read a little bit about that, but typically it doesn't require any code. So you take your Lego block, you connect them one to each other. Some of those Lego blocks are using AI, means there is a language learning model behind thinking, writing, analyzing, and some Lego blocks can be just, integrations. So you just send data to somewhere, or you read the data. You send a message, you read a message from Telegram, you write something to your CRM, and so on. So what can be some other examples of the AI agents configured in N8N? Let me just show you a couple of examples that I have built for various use cases so you have a broader perspective. Before we were building an e-commerce customer support agent working through the email. Let's imagine that in another use case, in another scenario, we would like to have a chatbot agent. So here is an example of the chatbot agent that I have built for our company. This chatbot agent is connected as a chat to our website, and it offers our customers multiple capabilities. So this chatbot is able to consult the customer about our company, what we are doing, how we are doing, and so on. So this is simple. You already know about that. But this agent is also having access to our database of available developers. So for example, if our customer wants to know, do we have any Java developer available at the moment? This AI agent can answer that. This AI agent has an access to my calendar, so it can automatically talk with the customer, book a consultancy meeting, and immediately send this request to the customer calendar. How this is working? Very similarly. We have a chat here. We have our agent with a prompt describing how to use those various tools. And then we have a bunch of integrations. Integration with a calendar, integration with an Excel file where I store information about availability of developers. I have a small knowledge base here where I store information about the company, about the case studies, and so on. How it works from the final user perspective, here you can see it on our website. We have this chat window here. When you start it, the agent immediately instructs you about what is possible, what are the capabilities, and here I can start asking questions. So, hi, do you have any Java developers? And basically every time I ask a question, it is executing this workflow here. The model is executed, the model is using appropriate tools and returning back an answer. And I can even show you from here how exactly it is working, because I can see all the executions of the model. So as you can see, the workflow right now is executed. Once it is finished, it will return, for example, an information back to the user. So for example, yes, we have Java developers. Here is the list of the developers from our database with CVs, and so on and so on. So you can build your AI agent as a chatbot on top of having your AI agent being connected and working through the email. What else is possible? The future will bring us probably a lot of new channels to cooperate, to communicate with AI agents. And one quick thing what I would like to show you is possible is to build a voice agent. So the voice agent is an AI agent which is talking with our customers through the phone. So for example, you call the customer service or you call some particular department, and then it's answering you through the phone. So here is an example of the voice agent, which is built using the tool named ElevenLabs. This tool is just doing a text-to-voice transcription, and it is connected to the same agent what I have shown you before. So how it's working? Just quick demo. I press a test AI agent.
Hi, I'm Andres, and you are contacting the Bonsai AI Lab. How can I help you today?
Hi, I would like to hire some Java developers. Do you have some?
Hi. Okay, so you are looking for Java developers. That's great. We have a lot of talented developers on our platform. Can you tell me a little more about your project?
And so on. So as you understand, this AI agent is doing a very similar job as my text bot. It's connected to all the tools. It can request the information about the availability of developers, information from the calendar, and so on. But it is communicating with the customer or with the user, not through the text window, but through the voice conversation. And finally, a final small example of what can you do, what kind of an AI agent you could have is to build something more complicated that is replacing maybe not only a work done by a particular employee and automating a specific task, but maybe is even simplifying the work of an agency. So here I can share with you a brief overview of an agent that I have built and that I'm using for my LinkedIn copywriting. And now this agent is different because it is encompassing multiple AI agents together doing different kind of tasks. So as you can see here, this is a flow where an AI agent is taking an idea about the post from my Google Docs document. Then it's using a Perplexity tool. This is a special LLM built to research on internet, very effective. So I'm using this LLM to do a research. If I want to write about, let's say, AI agent news released this week, the Perplexity will go to the internet, will gather all the news, will create a nice report, nice overview of all the latest news that can be used in my article. Then I have a next agent, which is engagement insight agent. This agent has an access to the database of all my LinkedIn posts that I have written before. It is analyzing which of them were working worse, better, worse, what were the results, and is coming up with a specific insights to consider when writing a new post. Then our next agent is responsible for the post writing. It's taking all the input from me, from the research agent, from the engagement insight agent, and crafting a nice post, or at least a draft of the post. Then our next agent is going to do some editing. So it's going to check that this post looks great. It is written according to my copywriting style. It's following some of my guidelines and so on. And then here, our content strategist will do some final polishing, and I will get a ready-made post back to my Google Sheet table, or I can immediately post it to the LinkedIn if I don't want to verify it by myself. So this was an example of using multiple agents together where every agent may have access to its own tools and it may have its own prompts clearly instructing what exactly it is responsible for, what should be the actions that it is undertaking, what are the available tools, what are the expected outcomes, and so on. Great. So guys, just as a summary, we're now taking a look at various agents that can be built using the N8N platform. And as I already mentioned before, the N8N provides a lot of capabilities for non-technical people to build their AI agents, small and larger ones. You can get access to almost 400 integrations. So there are integrations with all the most common products, all the Microsoft products, all the Google products, almost all the social networks, almost all the databases. Means you can automatically write things to there. You can search or request information from those databases, those products. You can automate specific activities and so on. It's also providing you a number of data extraction and manipulation tools. Why this is necessary is because sometimes you just need to change the way your data is looking like. For example, you have a data in Excel and you want to take this data in Excel or a data in an email and put it into the CRM or put it into the Jira, Zendesk, Freshdesk. Before you do that, you need to change the data. You maybe need to change the format or enrich the format. And N8N is giving you those possibilities to work with the data, to change the formats, to make some additions using the AI, not using the AI, and so on. Now, what is also great, what you should know about is that there is a possibility to make custom API requests within minutes. So if you have your own custom systems with custom API build, you can quite easily connect requests to those systems to read data, write data, search for information to your workflow, and basically enable AI access to some data, partial data, to perform a specific task. And finally, the platform supports a wide range of LLMs. OpenAI, Claude, DeepSeek, Gemini, Llama from Meta, and so on. Why this is important is because for different tasks, you may need different models. Different models cost differently. And some of those models are proprietary models. Some models are open source. So this is particularly great as some of my customers were asking about possibility to build completely their own systems running in their own environment without, leaking data somewhere else. So with N8N being an open source solution, it is possible to build an AI agent that is completely running on your server. You take an N8N and install, and then you take some open source LLMs, like, for example, Meta Llama, which is the most popular, or DeepSeek, if you like Chinese cheap stuff. And then you install that as well on your own server, and you will be having a smart AI agent, chatbot, and so on, completely running within your environment without leaking your data somewhere outside. Great. So guys, let me see if we have some questions in the chat. And after that, we are going to have a small practical assignment. So I will also want to give you an opportunity to reflect on all the information, what we have discussed today, and to think practically how you can apply those insights, how you can apply those ideas and the new information into your reality to boost your work, to maybe boost the efficiency of your company, of your startup, of your department, and so on. So let me first of all check the question in the chat. So what about effectiveness of AI agent analyzing sales marketing data? Give advice, maybe take changes. Does it have to learn marketing and have historical data? So Pop, to answer this question, basically, the AI can be very effective analyzing your data and giving you insights. The more accesses it will have to your data, and the more specific instructions you will give to your AI agent, the better will be the outcome. And vice versa. You can receive a very great advice from ChatGPT, but this advice will be generic. It will not be connected to your data, to your reality, to your context, and so on. So If you want to build something very practical, typically it's recommended, first of all, to clearly identify the scope, what exactly you want AI agent to analyze. For example, AI agent can analyze the performance of your ads in Facebook, a very narrow task. It can take all the different campaigns, what you were running, all the different texts, all the different images, and start analyzing the performance, comparing, and based on that, generating you some recommendations what to do next. What do you need to do for that? First of all, you need to give access to some database where you're storing all the campaigns. It can be Facebook, but it can be also outside of the Facebook if you download. So you need access to all the campaigns, to the creatives, to the statistics. And based on that, you can train a chatbot, for example, that will be checking all this information, and you will be able to ask questions like, how we run that campaign before? Or what was the results of our, I know, Christmas campaign, for example. So this is possible. The more specific it will be, the more value you will get out of there. Bob, have I answered your question? Cool, great. Very good, guys. So let's now take 3 minutes, a very short amount of time for the practical assignment. Here is what I would like to ask you to think about. So you now know a little bit more about AI agent, about various capabilities that are out there. What I would like to ask you to think about is how you can apply that practically in your life. So think about 3 most important areas. What you see in your life, in your company, in your startup. What are specific tasks or specific processes or maybe specific jobs that could be automated or simplified using an AI agent or multiple AI agents? What could be the impact? So what you would expect to achieve with that, and how it would help you or your team. So 3 practical ideas, something like, I think we could use that to generate content for our Facebook, or to optimize our SEO, I know, or to support our students, and so on. Completely relevant for you and your business. And then if you want, you can share those ideas with me in the chat. We can have a discussion. We can ask questions and so on. So guys, do you understand the assignment? Do you have any questions? If this is clear, just write 1 to the chat so I understand that we're all on the same page. Cool, very good. Then you have 3 minutes. I will run a timer here, and good luck. Great. So we are out of time, and in case you're still writing, you can continue, but it was great to see a number of very practical small ideas already shared in the chat. So great job, guys. It's very nice that the brain started to generate some practical ideas. And I just want to tell about that one of the challenges with implementation of AI is that people tend to think that implementing AI in the company or building a new tool for sure should be kind of complicated, expensive process, as it was before with the IT solutions what we were having. But the world has completely changed within the last 2 years. Right now, the artificial intelligence tools, those automation tools have brought a completely new perspective and new opportunities to do a very powerful things within days with extremely low budget. And I know that many companies are doing that. Those who are open to explore, to experiment, already are seeing very nice results. And the main goal of this practical assignment was just to put you think about practical things, what you can do without, changing the 50% of the company or spending a lot of time, a lot of money, just taking small things, implementing them practically, seeing the results, learning based on that, and then moving forward step by step, trying some new processes, new solutions, and so on. Great. So guys, let's now do a summary of everything what we have covered today and what we have learned and what I would like you to remember. So the first thing we discussed is that AI agent is a smart digital employee. It's a system to build to solve specific tasks, and it is capable of making decisions and taking some actions independently because we give it those opportunities, those capabilities. So we connect our AI agents to the databases. We connect our AI agents to the external systems so they can access them and maybe do some operations. We provide them with a specific instructions of how they need to perform a job, access those tools, and so on. And this AI agent now is self-sustainable enough to act in a specific context based on our guidelines and instructions using the tools and the information what we have provided. I really like to think about AI agent as an employee. So it's very similar as we take a person, hire a person, and then train the person to do a particular job. We train to know about our policies, about best practices. We show the tools and show where the data is located. And then we expect that the person, the employee, is able to act independently within his or her domain and competence. Secondly, there are many no-code tools, and I would particularly promote N8N that are built to make AI implementation very accessible and very fast for non-technical people. So you do not need to code, you do not need to know a lot how exactly language learning models are working or how they're trained to practically do some automation in your company. Now, an AI agent can be integrated with multiple systems and multiple tools so that you can create automated workflows. Some of them may be connected to supporting your customers. Some of them can be connected to, for example, exchanging the data between departments, between people, between systems. And some others can do some creative work like generating content, generating some insights, making some analysis and producing reports based on the information inside of your company, and so on. Now, the latest real-world implementation examples show that with AI agents, you can cut operational costs of specific processes by up to 70%. which is huge. It means that you can do the same work almost 3 times cheaper. And there were practical use cases where team efficiencies were boosted 2-3 times. It means that with the same amount of people in your team, and just keeping and having the same amount of team and combining them with AI agent, you can produce 2 up to 3 times more of outcome. Now, finally, the latest thing what I want you to remember and take out from this webinar is that starting with AI automation is much easier than you think. It doesn't require a huge budget or a lot of knowledge. It just requires some curiosity. It just requires some willingness to try new things, to experiment and to learn, and then some time to experiment and learn about those tools and see how you can practically apply them in your company. So I am very grateful for all of you that you found the time to join me here today. I hope that the topics what we have covered were insightful and will help you to grow, to do your work more effectively and to develop your company further or your startup further and so on. In case you are having some amazing AI implementation idea and you will feel that you need some more competent help or advice, this is what I'm doing for a living. I'm cooperating with the financial institutions, government institutions, logistic companies, helping them to understand how to implement AI, what tools to choose, how to configure them. I'm doing trainings for people on a regular basis to train sometimes technical teams, sometimes non-technical teams about efficient usage of AI. So you can always feel free to reach me. And I'm also offering short AI implementation consultancy sessions. So if you have practical questions, some practical things to discuss, here is a link in the chat what you can use to just book a 1 hour with me, talk, discuss, and we'll see where it will lead us. So guys, that's it. That's the end of the official part of our webinar. Thank you again for being here. I am now open to answer your questions. If you have something to ask about AI, what it's capable of doing, not capable of doing, how to approach it, and so on, feel free to just drop your questions to the chat. I will be also happy to get some feedback from your side. So if you see that this webinar was useful, was practical, or maybe not useful or not practical, share this feedback with me in the chat. It helps me to grow. It helps me to understand what you like and what you don't like. If you have some practical proposals, what could be included or prioritized next time, all this information, all this input is very valuable for me. So just drop this feedback to the chat. So far, thank you, everybody. I will stay here for 5-10 minutes more. If I will see some questions in the chat, I will answer them. And if not, then you're welcome. You're free to go, and you're for sure welcome to our next webinars. Thank you, guys, and have a nice day.